What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, CEO, MTS Nutrition, Chief Marketing Officer, TigerFitness.com, creator of the Outright Bar, as well as partner in the Ambrosia Collective and 015 Nutrition. So check it out, guys. We have a very bad creatine shortage right now. And I'm going to explain to you my understanding of what's happening. I'm also going to explain to you what we're doing about it, what the industry is doing about it, and how we actually have, thank God, after months of being out of stock, we have MTS Nutrition Pure Creatine, the German creatine. I'm going to explain why that's so important and so rare right now. In stock right now at Tiger Fitness. Very minimum amounts considering how much we sell. Let me explain to you what's going on with the supply chain. Now, those of you who aren't living under a rock, understand that we are having issues importing goods. You have boats and ships sitting in the water waiting to reach port in Los Angeles, on the West Coast, in New York. Luckily, DeSantis over in Florida is opening up his ports to basically handle some of this overload. I'm not going to get into why it's happening. You guys have your own theories and stuff. There's a lot of weird mandates, a lot of things going on that are going to affect supply chain. But let's go into what's really happening. There are some exporting issues coming out of China. Well, Marc, I thought you said the creatine was German. My creatine is German. However, most creatine on the market comes from China. Now, this is not necessarily bad. It can be, but most of the creatine that comes from China, for example, Blackstone Labs has a really good creatine. I've seen the tests on it. It's a damn good creatine. It's from China. Not going to hate on that product. In fact, when we were out of stock of MTS Nutrition Pure Creatine, I recommended people went to TigerFitness.com and bought Blackstone Labs creatine. However, the problem with Chinese creatine is unless it's from a company that actually tests and cares, the chances are if it's not Pure, it comes from China 99% of the time. And a lot of companies don't test their ingredients that they procure from China well enough. That's why I always tell you to buy from companies you trust. MTS Nutrition is my brand, 015 Nutrition, Ambrosia, Pump Chasers, brands like that. Obviously, if I make it, I support the hell out of it, right? I test the hell out of it. And honestly, the reason I have this, now I don't take this because I get my creatine from Sniper. I get my creatine from Pump and Grind. I get my creatine from my pre-workout. The reason I have this in my house is because my kids take it. My kids take creatine. Creatine is safe and effective for all ages, but of course, consult with your doctor, your physician, or your kid's obvious doctor, right? So let's talk about what's happening. We have a supply chain issue. Factories in China are out of ingredients. They're simply saying we do not have any in stock. They are not able to export. There are exporting laws. There is an issue getting things from China. From ingredients such as taurine, caffeine, creatine, every single ingredient. There is a citrulline shortage. So what is being done about it? I actually spoke to the owner of the Pure brands. I spoke to the owner of Allschem out of Germany. I spoke to him at the ISSN conference earlier this year. They are building a new plant. They are increasing their availability of creatine. So what they're going to do, they're going to absorb that demand, but you can't just poop out a manufacturing facility. It takes time to build it, get the equipment, a lot of new equipment, a lot of custom design equipment. We're 6 to 24 to 36 months away from that. So why does Chinese creatine affect German creatine? What happened is everybody who was getting creatine in from China dried up. So they're like, well, shit, we need creatine. And even though the creatine, which by the way, my cost on this is like 4 or 5 times higher than what it used to be. So there is a slight price increase. You still get this entire 80 serving for under 20 bucks at Tiger Fitness. So what happened is the people getting Chinese creatine were like, oh shit, they done ran out of creatine. We're going to have to go to Germany. Germany makes the best damn creatine, period. That is why I went out of my way to procure licenses with Pure Creatine. We're on their site and everything with our brands. We love Creapure Creatine. It is what it is. We still test it coming in, going out per GMP, but you can trust it. I've tested it hundreds of times throughout my career, from my old company to this company, the multiple companies I own now. Creapure is just the best. So they're going and they're like, well, we need, even though we don't label it Creapure, we need to buy this Creapure Creatine. So the people who are buying a majority of the creatine you see in the US, unless it's labeled Creapure Creatine like ours, comes from China. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I just said, Blackstone Labs has a damn good creatine that isn't Creapure. And I'm not sure, I haven't verified it comes from China, but most do. Could be another country that produces it that I might not be aware of, but let's say it is. It's good. I've seen the test. It's good damn creatine. Comes from a great manufacturer, right? But they're buying the German creatine because they have no choice. Even though they're paying 3-4 times more, they're buying the German creatine. So the German creatine runs out. Allschem's like, we got to step up production, but too little, too late, bro. Too little, too late. So here we are. Creatine shortage. That's what happened. Now, you're going to see many more shortages in this industry. I heard there's a taurine. I heard there is definitely a citrulline shortage, a huge citrulline shortage. We're going to be in for a world of hurt, and it's only going to get worse for the next 3 to 4 months. Thankfully, hopefully with things opening up in China, things can get better, and that can ease the demand on the creatine I've always used. I didn't just use this because China ran out. I've always been a fan of Creapure. Always. Even when, creatine ethyl ester is better. Crealkalin's better. Nah. They might be, maybe, they're not better. That's for damn sure. Definitely not better. And a lot of companies say they're better because they get a better price on it. It's cheaper. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, man, you're looking at the best creatine there is, creatine monohydrate. So when do I see this rectifying itself or getting better, and the shortage getting better, and the pricing getting better, and the supply getting better? I've heard anywhere from 5 months to 12 months to 24 months. It just depends on when our trade with China gets better, which, you guys watch the news like I do. I don't see that happening anytime soon. It depends on a lot of factors and variables. So what I would do, and look, man, if you like taking creatine, this will last 3 years. If you can find a good source of Creapure, buy enough for a good 6 to 12 months so you don't run out. For this one, this is, that'd be what? Let's say this is 2 months, even though it's a little over 2 months, right? Buy 6 of these. Buy Blackstone Labs, whichever brand. Obviously, I'm going to want you to buy my brand because it's awesome. We're going to run out. We're not going to have enough. We're going to sell out in the next 2 to 3 days. Most likely. I've already capped how much each of my retailers can buy. I'm keeping a lot of it just at Tiger Fitness because, that's my site. And we operate Tiger Fitness as a separate business from MTS Nutrition. Let me explain how that works. When MTS Nutrition receives product in, it is a separate company. MTS Nutrition is under a holding company called Vorlo Brands, Vorlo. And TigerFitness.com is a completely separate entity, a completely separate S Corp. And we also have a couple other C Corps and LLCs formed under the various states we operate under, right? Ambrosia is a different company from all of that, right? 015 Nutrition is housed under Vorlo, et cetera, with a partnership agreement with Brandon Curry, same with Pump Chasers and Chris Jones, et cetera, right? So what happens is we get a load of creatine in, and from that, we allocate a certain amount to Tiger Fitness, and then Tiger Fitness will purchase order from MTS Nutrition, okay? Then you have our other brands or stores that we supply to, like Europa Sports is a distributor, NutriFit in Cleveland area, they're a great retailer, Natural Body, all those guys. So we allocate a certain amount for all of them. So it's already been spoken for. So it's not going to last very long. So if you want creatine, buy it. And my suggestion, again, stock up. I don't know where creatine's going to go. There was a time when we did not have one brand of creatine on TigerFitness.com. Thankfully, Blackstone Labs came through, and I'm going to give them all the love in the world. It's what I've been recommending. But at the end of the day, man, Creapure is the standard. It's the benchmark. It is the best damn creatine that you can buy, period. So there you go. Available now at tigerfitness.com. Creapure creatine. I don't know when I'll have more in stock. Again, like our price has gone up dramatically, but we still were able to manage to keep it under $20 for 80 servings, which is a phenomenal price. But do what you can. If you like your creatine, we got your creatine. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, subscribe to this channel, like this video, click on the notification bell, share this with your friends so they know what's going on with creatine. But basically, it's a perfect storm. We have supply chain issues. There's food shortages going around. So if there's food shortages for Frankenbeans or whatever the hell you buy from the grocery store, there's going to be a shortage of creatine, a lot of ingredients. So if there's a supplement you like and it's in stock now, I don't know how the supply chain is going to be. The good news is with bars, like protein bars, we're good on packaging. That's another thing, packaging. I want to get into that real quick. Huge shortage of packaging. A lot of our supply chain issues are caused by packaging. What is a PET? This is a PET bottle. PET. What is that made out of? Petroleum. Yeah, it's made out of petroleum. So if there's a fuel issue, if let's say a certain administration closes down a pipeline, that increases the cost and will disrupt the supply chain. So when you see gas prices going up, you don't think, well, that's going to affect my ability to buy supplements because they don't have bottles to put it in. So a lot of our bottles you'll see a difference, right? Some of them will be HDPE, which is not petroleum based. PET has that beautiful shine to it, right? HDPE doesn't. It's more matte. And that's because it's a different product, different bottle. So when you look at supply chain, it's more than just, oh, Marc ran out of stock because he's a bad business person. This creatine shipment we just got in, you know when it was due? You know when I was supposed to get it in? February. It's October. It's almost November. It is literally months late. And it's not the only product. I was looking at a pre-workout that was due September 30th this morning, and that's not even that bad. I had Yohimbine that was due in March. I just now got it this month. Supply chain's a bitch. So if you want product, you don't want to run out, you just got to stock up, guys. There's a 3-year shelf life on most supplements. Since this is a fresh batch, you got 3 years. And I'll be honest, I didn't say this, I'm not recommending it. At that 3-year mark, let's say it's October of 2024, your creatine just doesn't stop being creatine. You have years after that before it degrades to a point where its efficacy, basically it starts diminishing the quality of it. It starts breaking down theoretically. But at the end of the day, if I had a bottle of creatine that had an expiration date of 2016 and it's 2021 now, I would still use it because it's probably completely fine. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts. Comment down below. Link down below, tigerfitness.com. Get your creatine, and that's not a game. So this is the moment we've all been waiting for. You know, one of my favorite supplements to take, well, pretty much all year is Yohimbine. Now, this Yohimbine is under 10 bucks, right? And the beautiful thing about Yohimbine, you take it pre-exercise, pre-cardio, even during the day, and it has this wonderful, crazy effect of target reducing fat. Now, that doesn't mean that you can eat like crap and just lose fat from men. The fat will come from, let's say, your abs or your back, your trouble areas. From women, hips, thighs, glutes, things like that. Yohimbine actually helps to release fat from those trouble areas due to certain receptors in those areas for both men and women. It's absolutely fantastic, but you have to be dieting. You have to be in a caloric deficit. So we got MTS Nutrition, Yohimbine back in stock. And also, you know, the greatest fat loss stack ever created is Yohimbine and Drop Fat. You buy them together. You buy Yohimbine alone, take it with your pre-workout, whatever. Anyway, MTS, Yohimbine back in stock. Boom.